Iranian state media says the talks are off. The president says they're going at a rapid pace. What is it likely right now?
Well, it could be all of the above. Let's first get the word talks out on the table and see what that means. I can't say for sure, of course, but most of these talks are actually going through mediators. The Iranians give the mediators a message. The mediators pass it on to us. We give the mediators back a message. They pass it on to the Iranians, maybe with commentary. That's one of the reasons it's hard to figure out what's in this deal, because of the indirect method, I think, by which most of these conversations are going on. And I think a lot of this is testing will, testing resolve. I think the regime in Iran believes it can outlast Trump, that it has more patience than he does because he's so desperate to get the price of oil down. And I think that's why they've now made sure Lebanon is part of the mix. That's just one more factor that that they can push Trump on because they think he's in a mood to give in.
I just jotted down you saying they're testing will and testing resolve. The reason why that caught my attention is because before the president made the post earlier today about the talks progressing rapidly, he also had a phone call with CNBC in which he said, quote, "I don't care," speaking of the talks, quote, "I don't care if they're over, honestly. I really don't care. I couldn't care less." And I see that draws a little chuckle from you there. So is that what he's doing in that scenario?
Well, when somebody says, "I don't care" 3 times, maybe it means they really do care. They're just trying to show how little it's bothering them. Look, if Trump weren't worried, he wouldn't have called Netanyahu to try and get a ceasefire in Lebanon. I don't believe he talked to anybody in Hezbollah. If you read his tweet, it doesn't really say that. It would be quite amazing for an American president to talk to a group that's been on our list of foreign terrorist organizations for about 40 years. But in what he said, even about Lebanon, there's complete ambiguity. The Trump posting says that the Israeli troops have turned around. Well, there were no Israeli troops marching toward Beirut. They were going to conduct an air raid. And maybe that air raid is off. But the situation on the ground in Lebanon looks far from stable to me.
Here was the president over the weekend.
Would rather get a deal because we can open the strait immediately upon signing. One guarantee that I have to have is that there will be no nuclear weapons. They've agreed to that. If you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal. And slowly but surely, we're getting, I think, what we want. And if we don't get what we want, we're going to end it a different way.
If we don't get what we want, we're going to end it in a different way. Why do you believe that the president at this point in time has not resumed military activity?
Because I think he's desperate for a deal. I mean, let's take this idea. We need a commitment that Iran will not seek nuclear weapons. Well, fine. They've given that commitment multiple times. The first time they gave that commitment was under the Shah in 1970 when they joined the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty as a non-nuclear state and says they won't build their own weapons, nor will they accept transfers from anybody else of nuclear weapons technology and material. And they've said it multiple times since then, including after the 1979 revolution and most recently in the Obama 2015 nuclear deal. They're happy to say they don't have the objective of getting nuclear weapons. They just don't mean it.
In the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, as you call it, in 2015, it's point 3. That they mentioned. It's on the 3rd page that they say that, and here we are a decade later. Let me bring you to some comments that Kevin Hassett, one of the president's top economic advisors, made about the Strait of Hormuz earlier today, and then we'll pick it up.
When you get the straits open, then it's about 300 nautical miles per day for one of those big tankers. So really, it's like a month or 2 until everything gets back to the refineries.
Excuse me, from over the weekend. How far out are we from the strait actually being reopened to the point to which it could be, for lack of a better term, normal again?
Well, I think a lot depends on Iran, and it's not at all clear to me that they have a real process worked out to open the strait up again. I think it's important for people to realize that we're now seeing widespread reporting that the U.S. has been escorting ships in and out of the Gulf over the past week. I think it was the New York Times said about 70 ships over the past 7 days. Now, that's nowhere near normal, to be sure. But I think it also gives the lie to the idea that Iran is capable of exerting massive force against ships trying to leave, and reinforces the idea that to restore deterrence against Iran thinking of trying to do this in the future, that opening the strait by ourselves militarily, let the Gulf Arab oil out, keep the blockade on Iran, is still a very feasible way to go. That's clearly not what Trump wants to do, but I think that would be the better long-term policy.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.